The Kia EV9 has only been out a few short months, and it's already racked up dozens of awards and accolades. I'm Tom Voelk for the Seattle International Auto Show, and if you're looking for a family-oriented EV, this is it. I first drove the Kia EV9 at a program in California, which means I had 10 hours or so to listen to the engineers, photograph the vehicle, plus assess the features and driving dynamics. In that short time, it was tough finding fault. Some vehicles are so promising they deserve a deeper look. So I've snagged one for a week to see if time constraints and skipping lunch affected my judgment the first time around. The vehicle I drove at the press event was a fully optioned, top-trim all-wheel drive GT line that MSRP'd for $78,400, which caused many to clutch the pearls. People aren't used to paying that kind of coin for a Kia. The good news is the Land version that I'm driving this time is less expensive. $74,200. I get it, that's not Forte or Rio money, but the reality is EV9 doesn't really have any competition, at least right now. Hyundai Ioniq 9, that's built on the same eGMP platform, should be dropping soon. EV9s that are built in Georgia may be eligible for some of Uncle Sam's $7,500 tax credit. It's complicated. Check with your dealer. States have incentives too. The Land trim is the sweet spot if you don't need GT's extra power, head-up display, and self-leveling rear suspension. Land is very well equipped. It would be easy to get lost playing with the dual-tone ambient lighting. Drivers can kick back and return a few emails when waiting to pick up the kids from jiu-jitsu practice. There's a great view of the sky, too. Only the base light trim gets a bench in row 2. It seats 7. All others stop at 6. Legally, anyways. The Niner has 20 cubic feet of cargo space with all the seats usable, easily 4 carry-on suitcases. There's some squirrel space under the load floor. Tailgaters have power options. Expanding cargo without getting bumper schmutz on your Levi's is a cinch, which opens up 44 cubic feet. In max mode, it's 82. That might encourage unnecessary Costco purchases. Large TVs will slide in easily. The floor is flat. GT Line and Land's dual motor setup make 379 horsepower. That's 178 more than the single motor light trim. GT Line gets 516 pound-feet of torque to Land's 443. The 99.8 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion pack will take Land 280 miles. The on button is awkwardly located. Maybe owners would get used to it. At least the 12.3-inch screen is easy to read and up high. Drive modes? There's a bunch of them, plus the all-wheel drive system can be locked. Recuperation drag can be set with these. There are no simulated shifts. Like all EVs, other than Porsche Taycan, the transmission is single speed. Some EV makers offer up a generous frunk by taking components and packaging them in a spine down the middle of the interior, while others take all the drivetrain components and put them in the nose to open up the cabin space. Kia kind of gives you both. It's kind of mid-sized. I could easily put a gym bag here. At commercial DC fast charge stations, this juices up from 10 to 80% in as little as 24 minutes. Home level 2, just under 9 hours from spent to 100%, while you sleep. Many people consider the EV9 to be kind of an electrified Telluride, but this is definitely quicker. It'll hit 60 miles an hour in just under 5 seconds. That takes about 2 seconds off the Telluride's time. A few days in the 9 confirmed my press launch assessment. It's quiet, calm, and easy to drive with no gas engine vibration. It's luxury car refined. When it comes to family haulers, it's pretty tough to beat the driving dynamics of the EV9. The suspension is a little bit on the firmer side, but it's still very comfortable without giving a lot of body roll and dive. Plus, batteries in the floor mean a lower center of gravity, which is always a win. Weighing 5,300 pounds or 2,400 kilos, EV9's heft is felt in hard cornering, the kind that would send sports gear and baby strollers sliding around in back. Sounds. The performance tones are pretty easy to hear when turned all the way up. The transition from regenerative braking, that sends power back to the pack, and the physical calipers biting the discs is pretty much imperceptible. The pedal feel is natural. One pedal driving. If you back the regeneration all the way off, this thing will coast forever. Dial it all the way in. Comes to a complete stop without touching the brake pedal. Visibility is excellent. Lots of glass in the EV9. The ride height is elevated, but not to the point where you're going to need supplemental oxygen. And while this is a larger rig, it doesn't feel ginormous from behind the wheel. Have to believe GM will eventually make a Tahoe EV. If it's the length of an Escalade IQ, it would be 2 feet longer than EV9. I like this size, easier to maneuver in parking lots. And for a bigger vehicle, it does U-turns pretty well. The EPA rates the Land's range at 280 miles. That's 10 miles more than the GT line. Now, the temperatures in Seattle have been in the high 50s, and in mixed driving, I'm seeing 270. Not bad. Now, keep in mind, it is mixed driving. EVs aren't as efficient at highway speeds. As far as commercial charge speed, a terminal's rating is just as important as the car's max take rate. I had to travel for a 350 kilowatt unit to do this test. I mostly come across these, and commercial stations can be expensive. Here, it's 5 times higher than at home. Charging where you sleep is important. Rolling in at 15%, the highest rate that I saw was 215 kilowatts. That's pretty good. In the 23 minutes it took to shoot this video and hit the head at the Walmart, the pack reached 80%. EV9's cockpit is a stylish space, but not trying to muscle in on Cadillac Lyriq or Rivian R1S. Plastics and trendy fabrics made from old fishnets are high quality and true to what they are, no fake wood grain or carbon fiber. Haptic controls pop into sight on startup. Packaging components under the hood means space here for the purses and backpacks normally tossed on the passenger seat. Door pockets are for small things only, not much depth here. Storage space or refreshing beverage? Your choice. At 74 grand as tested, there's a digital rear view mirror, a top-notch bird's eye camera view, a fingerprint sensor to recall driver's presets, and an updated digital key so you can keep the phone in your pocket or purse now. Comfy, supportive seats are heated and vented. The infotainment system is next generation with over-the-air updates available for the whole vehicle. The 12.3-inch screen is crisp and responsive. EV9 has voice recognition, but it doesn't use a wake phrase like, "Hey, Kia." You have to push a button, which I think is doable. Turn on the heated steering wheel.
Turning on the heated steering wheel.
It requires a data plan, a subscription after the trial period ends, though connectivity adds native route planning, which is good when traveling. Phone apps aren't embedded to the car's system, they aren't as accurate. Android Auto and Apple CarPlay are wireless now. Row 2 delivers a lot of livable space and a separate climate zone. I prefer these seats to the footrest-equipped VIP chairs that can be had on the GT line. These chairs are completely manual. If you like those in back, you can do that. If you don't, you can do that. Manual adjustments are much faster than powered chairs. These are heated and vented. This swallows tablets and laptops. Ask me how I know. Look how flat this is. It's good for footroom and cleaning up. The Land trim level is well equipped. Buyers are getting something for their money, and it's usable. with cubbies and power ports.
I can't think of a three-row SUV crossover that has massive stretch-out space in the way back. It's just not a thing. EV9 is okay, and really, okay is about as good as you're going to get. I have this seat set about midway. I'm 5'9". Headroom is decent. Same with knee, leg, and foot room. I can slide my size 11 under the chair. The other one goes down the middle. My knees aren't up into my chin. This is high enough so that I actually have some thigh support. So if you're an adult and you're stuck in EV9's third row, it's not half bad.
EV9 carves out a unique space in the market for families that want space. For now, it's in a class of its own with power, comfort, features, utility, plus great range and charging speed. It's well worth checking out at your local Kia showroom. For the Seattle International Auto Show, I'm Tom Voelk.